that's hopefully going to be the first step in seeing other states, like possibly maybe California as well, where people can get educated in a field that they want to be educated in and actually do the world some good. So
which
there's my soapbox.
Kind of leads us into our next, our feature story. We actually took a bit of a field trip. We got out of the studio.
Yep. Woke up early and everything.
Oh my God, so early. Hopped in the truck.
Dude, was that traffic murder?
We left
from the very beginning
at 5 o'clock in the morning in LA traffic.
5:32 actually.
Okay, so 5:30 in the morning in LA traffic was already just a B today. It was, I mean, granted it's a Friday, so there's a little bit of a Friday thing to that, but still, no, it was. So, anyways, I'm not complaining. We hopped in the truck. We headed up to California City.
Yep.
California City, California.
2 hours and 20 minutes later, because we stopped at McDonald's for a minute.
That's right.
Well, it was I think it was 12 minutes. But anyways, so, and that breakfast was good, wasn't it?
Now, tell them why we decided that we wanted to go up there.
Because we wanted to see for ourselves if there was this huge bundle of construction projects just bubbling over with guys and trucks and unistrutting,
Well, I mean, we've seen
studs
stories
and whatnot
for a year now talking about California City.
Right. And all the licenses got sold.
Yeah.
And
they started with 30 or 32 licenses or something like that, instantly blew through those.
Right.
And expanded it out. Last I heard it was another 100. Was the last round, and they're thinking about doing another round.
Another 100, huh?
Another 100 things. So we were like, okay, well,
let's check it out.
Let's scope it out.
We wanted to see the land use and see what other people were doing, and to the degree of construction and where people were at as far as the use of the land. We had some properties in mind that we wanted to survey ourselves, and we spoke to a realtor, which was pretty awesome. This dude's he's been in the industry down there for a while, so it was good to talk to him. Definitely an expert in knowing the pulse of California City.
That's right.
And
well, let's
it was
not
beautiful.
spoil it.
Sunrise.
Let's not spoil it.
Oh,
we're gonna now take
I am a spoiler.
We're gonna take you guys on the adventure with us to California City, California's alleged marijuana Mecca. Enjoy.
G. What's up, dude? Where are we going?
California City.
It's a little dark out to be traveling.
I know, because it's like 4:35 in the morning right now.
Jeez. Let's do this. So about an hour and a half outside of LA now, just rolling into Lancaster here. Probably another 30-45 minutes from California City, thereabouts. If you look online, you do a little bit of research, gold rush, green rush, all that good stuff's going on in California. There's a couple towns that pop up, and right at the top of the list is California City. But the thing is with California City is one of those bedroom communities that's really been struggling. Like their real estate market's been struggling, everything else. So, they're looking at this as, an opportunity to make a bunch of tax revenues and permit revenues and everything else and really kind of help out. One of the things that if you live in California City, you're a resident, you actually end up paying $150 just flat tax to help the city cover a shortfall of about $7.5 million, according to the stories that we've seen. So their idea is that this type of boom in their local economy is going to help residents offset that, kind of phase that out and bring that tax revenue from the businesses instead of from the residents. We're on our way out. We really want to know, and I'm sure you guys do too, like, it's been a year, a little bit over a year since this all got started. What's things look like? What's going on out here? Do we have bunch of building going on? Is everybody getting ready for January 1st? Is there grow operations that are just sitting there, or are they operating? Like, that's kind of what our goal is today, to kind of take a look at California City and see what's happening out here. So we made it safe and sound here. Beautiful California City. Trying to find the city hall. Siri had us headed to this building that kind of, I think, is a library. We're hopeful. We're gonna take a look around here real quick and see what we find. So it looks like the city's just coming alive. I love small towns. No LA traffic. Like, this is rush hour for California City right now. No one home?
Well, there's a cleaning crew guy there. He didn't seem too responsive to me knocking on the door. He kind of looked at me and was like, and then turned away. So it turns out that apparently the city hall closes down every other Friday, and this just happens to be one of those Fridays. And we checked on the website, and the hours are from 8 to 5, which is normal city hours.
8 to 5. There's nothing on there about every other Friday business.
So, not the end of the world, but kind of funny. We're like, it seems a little quiet around here.
All right, so we've gone off the beaten trail, as it were. The paved road ended about 100 yards back there, and we've got at least a quarter mile that we got to go down this to hit a junction of another dirt road and head about an eighth of a mile back that way to kind of end up at one of the properties that was listed on the website, that is commercial grow and zoned and all that good stuff. One of these, gold mines, as it were. But as you can see, this whole area is kind of that zoned stuff. I don't see anything really going on out here.
Airport is off in the distance there.
We've got just a few bumps to get through here. We'll be bringing the sedan out. Oh, we're definitely not the first people out here. But I'd say as far as signs of civilization goes, this is it. Now we are smack dab square on the listed property coordinates that were listed online. And this is your bustling California City marijuana gold mines.
There's the airport. Surprisingly enough, there's water under here. About 200 feet deep. There's a bunch of water.
A year ago, the property out here was going almost $100,000 an acre. according to some reports. Nowadays, it's leveled off a little bit. You're looking $35-ish thousand an acre, depending on kind of the area or different zones. Like this particular parcel here, that's about what it is, which is up significantly higher than it used to be. It was only about $5,000 an acre. But $100,000 an acre a year ago for this. It's amazing.
It's interesting how we figured between some of the measurements we saw were between like 85 and 250 feet. There's a water basin, and the water flows in from these mountains all around us, and it percolates through the ground and essentially is directly below us. There's high winds in this region, as well as extreme temperatures. When we first got into town, it was in the high 40s, and now it's already jumping up to the high 70s.
Right.
So there's a huge swing in temperature, but brightness and total sun exposure is incredible. Over 300 plus days, even more than 300 days of sun a year. So as far as growing crops is concerned, having that sunlight is definitely a benefit. And then of course we would want to be off grid, so we would do a solar array, so that would generate our power.
Plenty of that going on today.
This California city is the city of the sun, I believe is what the sign said.
That's right.
So let's go take a look at the airport.
Hey Mike, how you doing, buddy? One of the things we noticed when we were out there was a severe lack of actual new construction yet. Is everybody kind of waiting till after January 1st, or is there anybody kind of planning to get up and running before then?
Well, I think the biggest problem is the city is just swamped. So the process of going through getting the land approved and then your building permits approved has probably slowed some of the people down. But I know that, I don't know if you've talked to he's moving ahead. I know that at least one of my partners saw him walking into the city with a whole set of plans, so he's probably ahead of everybody as far as getting their plans approved. But as far as I know, everyone's just trying like crazy to get everything done, by January. As far as I know, the world's not going to stop on January 1st.
Sure.
So this thing is just really starting to kick off.
So what you're thinking is that people are just trying to get their permits, get everything approved through the city, and then after January 1st, they'll start building out and taking their time and doing it that way.
That's my personal thought. I know that everyone's trying to get out of the ground, but you have to deal with the city, you have to deal with the Edison company,
right?
Along with lining up all your money and everything else. So.
Speaking of Edison, I read somewhere that one of the things that California City was possibly being concerned about is maxing out the amount of power that's coming into town.
Yes.
Is that a legitimate concern, or do you know if the city's taking steps to address that?
Well, they have taken steps to address it, and so has FCE, but it is a legitimate concern because they have to upgrade their whole system to accommodate this.
Sure.
And then no one's even discussing the amount of growth that this is going to cause. We're not going to have enough housing.
Oh,
they're going to employ maybe 2,000, 3,000 people in this industry, and we don't have them. So they're going to come from somewhere.
Sure. And as we can attest to right now, I mean, the drive is, it's not unpleasant, but it's definitely long coming from outside.
It's long, and also you can run into problems in the wintertime because we are high desert. So you can get anywhere from ice to snow.
Right.
Last time we spoke to the city attorney, she was mentioning something along the lines that everything has to be indoors. Have you heard anything about anybody using agricultural land or M1 land with greenhouses?
Well, greenhouses, I believe, are approved because they're indoor. There's not going to be any outdoor growing.
Gotcha.
Okay, so as long as there's 4 walls and a roof on it, doesn't matter if they're semi-transparent.
Right, and then they have all sorts of requirements on fencing and everything else, and 24-hour surveillance and all that.
Right.
But also, we were talking with one grower that because we have 2 metal buildings of 25,000 feet, that they're going to put modulars in there.
Yeah.
So they actually assemble them inside the current building, and they're all self-contained. So it's going to be all over the board.
So for entrepreneurs and everybody out there that's kind of looking at California City right now and thinking maybe they want to try to get a piece of this, is it too late, or what do you feel like the market's at right now there in California City? Is there places to still snag up, or pretty much tapped out?
Yeah, there's still quite a bit.
Cool.
And like I say, you really have to do your homework on access and power and water.
Do you have like an average price on kind of the stuff that's available right now that's already zoned or likely to be zoned?
Well, it's all over the board as far as price, because it's really dependent on if you're close enough to power and water. That's very expensive. So the stuff that we just listed is at $10,000 or $100,000 an acre. And like I said, we just listed it and got it rezoned, and we already have one piece in escrow. So it probably, depending on where the property is, if it has potential for power and water, you're probably looking at anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 an acre.
So we came out today because we were hoping to see something. We were hoping to see something actually going on out here. I mean, this is the marijuana Mecca of California, supposedly, according to if you believe the hype. Now, I think they did have a rush on properties, but like you were saying earlier, like maybe that's not the whole story just yet.
Right, and there's other factors involved: transportation and clientele, and where the product is going to be moved to, as well as testing. So there's some questions that need to be answered. But as far as the land is concerned, yeah, I mean, to be able to operate a business that is not going to disturb anybody and create waves with the residents, I think the desert's got a lot of opportunity, and especially the price points compared to closer to the inner city, like let's say Long Beach or Los Angeles. So you better have your ducks in a row. You better be able to pony up some money to develop the land and to build it up to the building codes for the region. You may have to pave a road. You're gonna
or two.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to dig a well, and you're gonna need to talk about solar.
All right, should we throw it back to us at the studio?
All right, back
to
at
you,
guys.
RJ and G.
Thanks, RJ and G. You guys are doing a great job out in the field. I swear, those guys, they're on it, man.
They're hard workers,
they
man.
Get up early, they get in the traffic, they go do that stuff.
What would we do without them?
I don't know. I mean, seriously, I don't know. Anyways.
All right.
All right, should I get into the legal beagles?
The legal brief with Legal G.
Legal G.